Good afternoon, everyone. So today I'm going to be showing you how I prepare my vegetable beef soup. And it's super simple. It's a one-pot dish. And I'm going to be using chuck pot roast, 3 potatoes, some bone broth beef. I'm going to be cutting up a whole onion. I have 2 bags of frozen mixed vegetables. To that, I'm going to be using a can of petite diced tomatoes. I like lima beans, so I'm going to drain a can of lima beans and add that. I'm also going to use a whole jar of tomato paste. And to season the meat, I'm going to be using salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Then, to serve it, I'm going to use a simple side of butter bread. So stick with us and I will show you how we prepare our one-pot vegetable beef soup. Okay, so to get things started, I'm not going to put everything in the pan all at once because I want to do it in stages. Because if we cut up our potatoes and put it in with the meat when it's cooking, they're going to turn to mush. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by putting our meat into our pan. We're going to do that. Okay. So that goes in there. Next, I'm going to go ahead and season it. So I'm going to start with some pepper. And then you can use as much or as little as you want. I'm going to use a little bit of garlic powder. Just enough to get a good season going on. And then I'm going to use just a little bit of salt because we do have the bone broth, so that's going to be a little salty. So just a little bit of salt. Okay. Next, I'm going to add a whole chopped onion. You can put that right over your meat and around it. Just like that. Okay. And then, what I'm going to do is we're going to shake up our bone broth. I'm going to get it all nice and good. And I'm only going to add a little bit to start because I want the meat to cook a little bit before we add everything else. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour a little bit of this in. Say maybe about 3/4 of the jar. But I'm going to add the whole can of diced tomatoes, and I'm going to add the juice as well. So that's going to go in there. Okay. Now, like I said, we're going to do this in stages. So I'm going to cover this up, and then this is going to go in the oven to bake at 350 for about an hour and a half. Give or take, and then we're going to test the meat till it's fork tender. Then after that, we're going to add our potatoes and the rest of our vegetables. So if you want to take a peek how it looks before, yummy, yummy. And then we'll be back in about an hour and a half, and the smell is going to be amazing. So we'll see you in about an hour and a half. Okay, guys, it's been about an hour and a half. And what we're going to do is we're going to check it to see if we can add the other vegetables. Okay. Oh, it smells amazing. So I'm just taking 2 forks and we're going to check for tenderness. Okay. All right. It's not quite pull apart tender, but it's getting there. So, well, look there. Okay. Look there. Okay. So what that means and tells me is it's time to add the vegetables, but we're still not going to add the potatoes. I'm going to chunk these up in diced, just diced. So those aren't going to take too long, and we don't want to like overcook them and make them turn to mush. So right now, what I'm going to do is add 2 bags of frozen mixed vegetables. So I'm just going to add that right in there. I'm using 2 bags. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to add 1 can of lima beans. I did drain those. Get them all out. Okay. Then I'm going to add 1 can of Hunt's tomato paste. I'm just going to add that all around. We'll put some over here. Okay. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put the lid back on our bone broth. I'm gonna give it one more shake, and I'm gonna add the rest of the beef bone broth. Okay, now take my spoon, and I'm gonna kind of stir in the tomato paste, try to get it a little bit disintegrated, and I'm gonna put the vegetables around the meat. Okay, now this is all gonna cook together. Now I'm gonna give it another good hour and a half to let this all cook together, and then I'm gonna peel my potatoes. I have 3 potatoes, and then in an hour and a half we'll check this again. We'll put our potatoes in, and then another 30-45 minutes, this should be done. All right. Okay guys, so it's been another hour and a half, actually hour and 40 minutes. So let's open this bad boy and see what we have. Oh, okay. Let's give it a stir. Oh, look, it's got a little bit thick. Okay, now we're gonna take our 2 forks again. Get my hair out of the way. Now, is it ready to be pulled apart? Oh yeah, look at that. Look there. It's fork tender. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this apart. Look here. Oh yeah, look at that piece of meat right there. That's what you want. All right, that looks delicious. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna finish pulling this roast apart, and then I went ahead, I left the peels on the potatoes. So I'm gonna pull this, I'm gonna put our potatoes in, and then it's gonna be another half an hour for these to get cooked because they're just little chunks. And then we'll taste it and see how it is. All right. In total, it's been about 4 hours, 15 minutes. And check this out. We've got some vegetable beef soup. Look at this. Look at the meat, the potatoes, the vegetables. I'm gonna scoop some up here. With the meat, some sauce, some juice, some broth. Okay. Look at this. All right. We got some butter bread to serve with it. Okay, look at that. It smells good. So now we're gonna give it a taste. It might be a little hot, it just come out of the oven. A little hot. All right, guys, you gotta try this. Perfect homemade soup. Comfort food, perfect for a Sunday dinner. So I'm gonna say goodbye. I'm gonna dish out a couple more bowls, and then we're gonna go relax and enjoy our Sunday evening. Thanks for coming along with me, and try it, it's delicious.